Kaki's doing there. He's maybe lost 3 wolves this whole time, and it is giving the Archmage a good amount of hit points. So you can imagine if he wasn't microing his wolves at all or his grunts at all and losing a lot of his footmen, how much more or how many more experience points the Archmage would have had keeping it up. So Orc's been at tier 2 now a good amount of time. He's got a secondary hero out, and the human player is just now almost completed with his tier 2 tech. Really, really good advantage here for the Orc player, for Kiwikaki. He's, check out where he's creeping right now. He's creeping the level 3 and level 5 Null Overseer camps outside the human base. This is generally a good idea to do, to try to creep your opponent's creeps. So, again, another form of denying them that experience. But it's a really obvious move, too. So, watch this grunt here. If you're holding alt, you'll see that this one grunt way out in the open was taking heavy, heavy hits. And again, getting focus fire by the Archmage using his... and watch this Panda who just came out. Just barely missed that Breath of Fire to kill, or to try to get a little bit more damage and stop the healing done. But some good micro there by Kiwikaki. Another good example of some decent micro. He's saving another low HP grunt. He's going to bring his Farseer out and use a Scroll of Speed to give that grunt all the movement speed he needs to run out in the open. Kiwikaki is doing something a little bit strange that you don't see a lot of human players doing while focusing water elementals. That's a very dangerous tactic, as water elementals have a lot of HPs, more than that of a footman. They have a range attack, and they're easily that you could risk their timer running out on them. Good surround here on the Panda. Panda has like 6 HPs. This is such an intense fight, and this grunt is going to come in and get this last hit. It looked like the Archmage might have been trying to block that off, but he was unable to do that, and the secondary hero of the human, the Panda and Brewmaster, did go down. Trying to chase down this Archmage with the speed scroll, but was unable to catch up with him. This is where Endurance Ore really helps out, or Boots' speed on your heroes when you're trying to chase down all the heroes. You notice that we got a dual bestiary. I'm looking at the Orc space now, looking at Kiwikaki's base down in the bottom right-hand corner. He went for the dual bestiary move. Now this is generally a decent idea to do. I typically, especially in almost any matchup, I will go for a single bestiary and a single Spirit Lodge, just so I can have more of a mix. However, expecting casters, by sending his wolves in, he was able to see that an Arcane Sanctum was being built. He's going Wyverns to counter that. Now also, you'll notice that Shriek is kind of preemptively countering the Wyverns with Dragonhawk Riders. He hasn't scouted out Wyverns. He doesn't know that he's going Wyverns yet, but he can kind of... he's kind of assuming that, unless he used his Goblin Laboratory with the farm there that I didn't notice. I might have missed it, so... Good idea to go Dragonhawks versus Wyverns. Obviously, the biggest thing you're going to have to worry about there is Bat Riders next. So another preemptive move. He's going to be upgrading the armor on his Dragonhawk Riders by 1. Much like how undead players counter bats, as they get armor upgrades on their destroyers. An armor upgrade on the Dragonhawk Rider will make it so one or more than one bat will have to detonate on a single Dragonhawk Rider to kill it. It basically means that if a bat will go in and kill or try to detonate or suicide attack on the Dragonhawk Rider, it will stay alive without any more focus fire. So it's going to need an extra volley of attacks from whatever Wyverns or your heroes or whatever. So we got 3 Wyverns now coming up and a Bat Rider. Good little mix. Again, both players trying to preemptively know what our opponent's going to do, kind of counter the counter. So Bat Riders to counter the Dragonhawk Riders, which counter the Wyverns, and the Wyverns are there obviously to counter the casters, as I decided. So got a good mix here. Unfortunately, we got some nice creep. We got a level 2. Oh, not even level 2. Actually, both hero levels are the... Man, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Jeez. Alright, Archmage is level 3, so a good bit of creeping there, and we got a level 1 Pandaren Brewmaster. Almost like halfway to level 2, and the Torrent Chieftain's almost level 2 himself. So even with all that harassment, the human player still got a hero level advantage. And seeing right as soon as the Bat Riders or the Kiwikaki saw the Dragonhawk Riders, he's kind of deciding to play more defensively until he gets a few more Bat Riders, because he knows just a few Dragonhawk Riders are really going to put a hurting on his Wind Riders, on his Wyverns. So he's playing a little bit more defensively, and Shriek knows that he's playing defensively because of this, so now Shriek has to play more offensively, and he's got to try to take advantage of this really small window of time that he has to put this pressure on. As soon as more Bat Riders and more Wyverns get in the fray, it's going to be a lot more difficult. It's going to be a lot more difficult for Shriek's Dragonhawk Riders to be effective. Notice here we're showing Shriek's Dragonhawk Riders on the far right of the screen, doing a good job of hitting Wyverns. The first target you definitely want to do as a human player are target those Bat Riders over the Wyverns. Bat Riders are the biggest threat there. Really good micro, you'll see by both these players, picking off units one by one, and or in the air units, and just really close moves, trying to micromanage both the air and the ground battles. You notice that Kiwikaki has brought in peons here. Now peons are generally used to make full advantage of Spirit Link, however Spirit Link not in the case here. Their use here is just to be a small meat shield, more of a distraction in case for some reason Shriek just auto attacks on something that they're gonna maybe attack the peons instead of Grunster as heroes. So that's kind of what they're for, and they're also kind of, you'll notice there they helped Kiwikaki pull off a surround there on the Pandaren Brewmaster, which was forced to use the town portal to escape. So really cool moves here. Both really top American US players, which you don't see a lot of very good American players, and these two are probably some of my favorites. So really cool to see it. I'm a big fan of Human lately. I've been playing a lot of Human games, so I'm trying to watch some of the players who I respect more, and I see that are doing innovative strategies, or at least controlling their units innovatively, maybe. Notice that the Archmage has boots of speed on him. I did not notice if he purchased those from the Goblin shop or not, or if he got them from a drop, but definitely a good item to avoid running, or it helps him get that run speed in case he's being attacked by anything. Finally, we're into some slow time. Both players now just recuperating after the big fight that they just had, where the Pandaren Brewmaster was forced to town portal. Kiwikaki has sent out a level 2 Dire Wolf to scout out his opponent's expansions. This is the natural, if anything could be considered a natural expansion for the human player, this would be it on this map and in this location. So it's just common knowledge to send a wolf out that way just to kind of see what's happening. You probably could have safely assumed that that's where the human player was creeping, but not wanting to risk anything in this kind of tournament, he decided to send a wolf just to make sure. He was also able to resummon his wolves at that point to not give that opponent any extra experience. Again, both players just trying to get their creeping advantage. We have a level is it 4 Farseer, level 3 Farseer, level 4 Torrent, or level 3, both level 3 heroes for the orc. So that's going to mean level 2 Wolves, level 1 Chain Lightning, and level 2 Shockwave, which is really nice. Again, something that I just realized, I just wanted to reiterate, that he's not maximizing his Chain Lightning. Kiwikaki isn't maximizing Chain Lightning. At this point, he doesn't have to worry about it. Footmen are kind of a thing of the past, and Shockwave is going to be enough to take care of him. Shockwave and Wyvern Focus Fire. He doesn't necessarily have to put a lot of focus on the Chain Lightning. Both players just creeping. This is the point of the game where there's not a lot for casters to talk about, or for audio commentators to talk about. It's nice to see what kind of items they're getting. A lot of int items. I think we just got Tome of Intelligence on the Tauren Chieftain. Scroll of Healing purchased as well on the Tauren Chieftain, and a Scroll of Healing, one Scroll of Healing on the Archmage here. So that's definitely a cool little, definitely a good item to have in any situation. Especially if you're able to micro, it kind of gives you this I guess innate kind of Spirit Link, if you were, and to make that more effective, you can just pop a Scroll of Healing. Most players will not use Scroll of Healing effectively. They'll wait until like there's 1 or 2 units that are low on hit points and use it all. Oh, that was just deadly to see all those bats come in and take out all those Dragonhawk Riders. Even with 1 armor, those Dragonhawk Riders are going down pretty quick to Wyvern Focus Fire and the bats exploding on here. We do have some Raiders out, and I don't think Ensnare has been researched, or maybe it has, or it's just been completed. So just recently got Ensnare. Good point to make about the Pandaren Brewmaster. His Breath of Fire does hit air units, which